Welcome to Align and Arise, the podcast for wildly ambitious women who want to break free from the struggle, build a life without limits, and create success, wealth, and happiness completely on their terms and with way more than just the money in mind. I'm Abby Rogers, therapist, mentor, and abundance expert, and I'm here to help you create anxiety-free freedom and wealth that aligns with your soul. Let's dive in. Hey, back with a new intro and back with a real plan and some changes to talk to you about. But before I get started today, I want to just tell you about something really exciting that's kicking off in my world on the 22nd of June that I would love you to be involved in. If you're listening to this after the 22nd of June, that's fine, because this is an evergreen thing. It's not going to be disappearing anytime soon. And it's a completely free e-course called Worthy, Wealthy and Wise, which is going to take you on a journey to uplevel your self-worth, help you access your own intuitive wealth wisdom, and help you shift from a place of struggle and stress and maybe overwhelm into a place of wonderful freedom and focus and flow, so that you can easily attract the things you want, feel much more abundant, and have things happen for you much more easily, all through simple, actionable, daily 10-minute tasks. It is going to be really powerful, and as you'll know, if you know me well, it's all about the science and psychology of conscious creation and wealth, and I'm really, really excited to share it with you. If you want to do that, just head over to my website. It's www.abigail-rogers.com, abigail-rogers.com, and you'll find a link on the homepage or on the Work With Me page. Just click that link and it will take you through and tell you much more about what to expect. So, I'm back, as I say, with a whole new intro, whole new music, which I'm quite liking. It's much more mellow. That's nice. It's more me. And I'm here to tell you about what's going on and why things have been a bit kind of stop-start with the podcast recently. Sorry about that. If you're a regular listener, I do apologise. But yeah, I wanted to bring you up to date with what is going on with me and my business, because a lot's been changing in the last few months, and at the same time, nothing has changed, one of those things. So for those of you who do know me well and have been following my journey all along, sit tight, it is about to get more exciting. And for those of you who don't know me so well, or maybe you're a little bit rusty, hi, I am Abby. I live in beautiful Bristol in the UK with my husband and my two little boys, who are 4 and 6 and utterly bonkers, but absolutely wonderful and gorgeous. Currently a little bit obsessed with Schitt's Creek, not them, me. And that is me catching up very, very much behind everybody else in the world. But that is just how things go sometimes, isn't it? And I love the great outdoors. I'm a big fan. I love our family van, Mags, which I manifested. There is a podcast episode some time ago talking about my 3 months of manifestation, and I think I give Mags a little mention there, but I will talk about that more another time. I also love great food, great wine, and I'm a semi-pro singer as well, which is a real passion project of mine and constant work in progress. And I got into the work I do now because of paralysing stage fright to do with the singing and low self-confidence, which has led me on this massive, wonderful journey of learning how to live without fear and anxiety, and of creating a whole new amazing life for myself that I love, that's quite unrecognisable from where it was a while ago. What do I do? Well, that is what I want to talk to you today, because I am finally fully stepping into owning this thing that's been staring me in the face and kind of whispering in my ear and nudging me to dare to do it since the word go. So if I were to have a headline statement, it would be very similar to the opening of this podcast. It would be about helping wildly ambitious women to permanently and painlessly overcome their struggles with self-worth and anxiety, so they can consciously create the life and wealth of their dreams. It's all about rewiring subconscious emotional imprints, identity imprints, and working with the neuroscience of success and manifestation to help them effortlessly expand into new possibilities instead of being stuck in this prison of negative thoughts and impossibility, and to help them take deeply aligned action with ease. Or in other words, I just shift all the crap out of the way, all those sabotaging and stressful thoughts and feelings, and we do that on the deepest level, so it becomes really easy to move forward and up level and create a whole new world of possibilities rather than endlessly sitting in the feel the fear and do it anyway place. The procrastination place, the fake it till you make it place, and all the other deeply frustrating stuff that never actually gets you anywhere. And I feel so very passionate about that because that's exactly where I was with the singing. I was feeling the fear and doing it anyway, and just feeling more and more fear and getting nowhere with it. So it wasn't until I shifted all my deep subconscious issues with self-worth out of the way that suddenly got so much easier, and I discovered my confidence. So you'll see me talking a lot about reducing anxiety and shifting limiting beliefs and trauma and the neuroscience of conscious creation, because understanding that stuff is the real key to accessing what you've probably heard referred to as your high vibrational state and creating more of everything that you want. Now, to be honest, I have kind of shied away from talking about manifestation for the longest time, because as someone who's been raised in the world of science and has had a medically aligned degree, I had a massive block, a massive kind of barrier there myself around having to have everything I do come across as really scientific and well evidenced to be in integrity. And I didn't feel like my methods and my understanding of conscious creation really aligned and made sense with the messages I was hearing around manifestation and how it was being presented to the world, which is not to say that I don't have any sort of spiritual leanings or any belief that the more spiritual side of things is true. I'm actually very curious, I would say, and I have a fabulous spiritual and intuitive mentor now, but for a long time it didn't really click with me that my way of working and all my science talk would fit into that world and fit alongside it well. What I've now realised is that the work I do is totally that. It's like opening the door to allow people to access their full creative and manifestational power. So it's not that it's different, it's that it's a different part of the same process. And the way I see it in my mind is like our intuition and energy, our access to the universe, to whatever you would like to call that higher power, our potential to create different realities, and our ability to connect with everyone else sits at the top of this iceberg. So they're like the pinnacle, they're like where we want to be, they're the high vibes bit that everybody talks about. They are us in our purest and most creative, most energetic form, where there's no ego involved and we are just in that blissful, fearless flow state. But under the surface, the lower part of that iceberg, is all the difficult stuff that we have to shift out of the way to get there. It's the anxiety, the limiting beliefs, the trauma, the false identities, the values that we've picked up along the way that don't align with getting there. It's everyone else's crap. It's the nice girl stuff. It's the people pleasing. It's the low self-worth. It's the bad feelings. It's the guilt, the shame. All the stuff that surfaces when we think of money and wealth and having it all and daring to have it all. All of that stuff that gives us heavy energy, heavy presence in the world and holds us back. And I've realised that through my work, I do both bits. I do the bottom of the iceberg stuff first and then work on the top bit to help you access your own intuition. The other thing stopping me was also that I had my own blocks around money and wealth to deal with, and I've never ever ever wanted to be just a money coach or just an anything, because I really deeply and wholly and truly believe that it has to be about the bigger picture. And I think we all get that, right? So despite it being very convenient to direct our businesses towards talking about one particular outcome, I don't want to be one of those coaches who's always banging on about creating 6-figure months or anything like that, because it just felt quite icky and it just didn't sit with me well. And if I'm honest, I don't think anyone can or should promise such specific outcomes. It feels pretty dubious to me. Secondly, because money is nowhere near the whole story. It's one part of a whole complex, beautiful picture. And I know from personal experience that creating financial wealth alone is not the key to lasting happiness. Far from it. And very often dissatisfaction in other areas of life can actually lead to sabotaging that wealth anyway, as a subconscious safety mechanism. Even if we make those 6-figure months or whatever it might be, if everything else isn't aligned with that, if it's not holistic and whole, then it tends to fall apart in some way. So owning the fact that I'm helping people create more wealth has been a long road, but we are there. And so what I talk about now, what I'm working on in my business with clients, is actually based on 4 key outcomes that I want to create and I believe are really important to a holistically happy life. So worthy, wealthy, healthy, and whole. They are my 4 big cornerstones, my 4 big flags in the sand. So I've been working on getting to the bottom of this for so long. It's 3 years since I popped into the world of online business. And I know a lot of people will identify with finding your way taking some time despite all the shiny promises out there. The slow burn is real and it's totally okay. That's fine for it to be a thing. You just have to have faith that you're going in the right direction and keep on inching closer to your goals. And I'm now feeling like I'm there, and I'm going to talk a little bit about business along the way, because this, although it's not a business podcast, a lot of us are on an entrepreneurial journey. It's not going to be completely about entrepreneurship. So if you are listening and you're an entrepreneur, great. If you're listening and you're not, then also equally great. Hang around. You're going to get so much value out of this. But yeah, I'm there now, and I had to lose myself to find myself for a while, which is why I've had so many little diversions and twists and turns along the way, and nearly theirs and not quite theirs and all sorts of stuff. It's been a little bit lumpy and bumpy, and that's fine. If you are earlier on in your journey, just know that that is totally okay. It's always okay. It is how life works. Creation is not a smooth path, and that's fine. So I'm now in a position where I am so ready to get out there and share my expertise with wonderful humans like you again, and help you tap into your worth and wealth, health and wholeness. And ironically, that's exactly what I've been doing since I saw my very first client almost 7 years ago. And I've been through so many iterations of the website along the way, but sometimes putting into words what we do and do so well can be so tricky. We're there now. So what can you expect from me going forward? Well, the podcast is back. Obviously, we are here today. We have a new name. It's Align and Arise Worthy, Wealthy, Healthy and Whole. And you can find it on any of your favourite platforms. I would love you to subscribe if you're listening for the first time and you haven't done. That would be amazing. Love some reviews as well. That would be smashing if you're happy to leave one. And I will be sharing advice on all things that will help you, from mental well-being and all that anxiety and low self-worth stuff that we talked about earlier, which has been so important to my journey, to soul-aligned strategic tips and wealth wisdoms. I'm also launching the free 21-day course online that you are very welcome to dive in and enjoy at any time. But I'm running the very first round starting the 22nd of June, and I would love to see you there. It would be so good to have you joining me. So again, you can find that on my website, www.abigail-rogers.com, and it's on the homepage and the Work With Me page. You'll find all the details there. and I just can't wait to get that going, and I can't wait to dive in and share everything that I have to share with you. So I'm going to be back next week. I'm going to make that promise. And I'm going to be back every week going forward now with something useful to share for you. So do subscribe, keep your ears pinned, and thank you for joining me today. See you soon.